Eu sui perduto senza tu, mais dans l'espace mon amour cammina senza tu al meu costat. Sui come uno flu passido che s'appresto a morire.
The most memorable adventure in my life happened when I once hiked alone in the Caucasus Mountains about 10 years ago. Since then, things haven't gone the way I imagined. I started having serious back problems, and at some point I found out that I no longer can carry a heavy backpack. Somehow I came to accept it and lived with this reality for many years, and well, I was filling my life with other fun things, but I never lost hope that one day I could get back on the adventure path. So in March this year, I started visiting a physical therapist and exercising, and my back now in July started feeling better, and I gained confidence to even get myself a tent and to go on an adventure, well, without a backpack, but with a bag on the wheels. Kinda weird thing to do in the forest with all these hills and roots. But yeah, I did it. It was Saturday evening, and I was incredibly lucky that this spot was still free. The nearest tent was about 100 meters away, so I got to enjoy every single minute alone with nature. This vast body of water may look like a lake, but it's actually a river dotted with countless islands. I've been here before as a teenager when I was a part of a hiking club, but this was my first time getting off at this particular stop. Since I didn't know this place at all, I had no idea where to set my tent up. So I was wandering around for a long time, dragging my rolling bag behind me. And after 4 hours of hiking, I finally found this beautiful clearing. Oh, if you only could see how happy I was. Of course, I didn't film while searching. I was completely exhausted by the time I arrived. looking back on this trip, something I would call the most important was an episode that stayed off camera. And when I think back on it now, I guess I have to tell you about it, because without it, yeah, the vlog would feel incomplete. So it happened, I will be reading. Yeah, I'm not good at talking to the camera at all, so I will be reading. It happened in the end of my 3 hours long search for a camping spot. There was a moment when I was on my way back after hitting a dead end of the road I thought would finally lead me to the beautiful river. But I was mistaken and I had to head back. And I was having a wild mixture of feelings inside me, which were mainly caused by the way I was talking to myself inside me. Well, it's all your own fault. You should have planned it better. So you are the one who is supposed to deal with the consequences. So here I am with a heavy rolling bag on a dirt road, feeling completely exhausted, with this belief in my mind that everyone should rely only on themselves. And it was very unsettling to discover that I have nothing left to rely on. I'm exhausted. And I see a man with his son who is building a house out of shipping containers, and from his face I can see that I could tell him about my troubles. And the first thing I said was, hello, I'm sorry, have you got a car? A pretty awkward beginning. But later, of course, I had to explain myself, and as I started to explain the situation, I bursted into tears. And he reacts in such a human way. He listens carefully to my story. He notices I might have gotten overheated with the sun, and he suggests me to sit down in the shade. He brings me water to drink, and even offers some water to wash my face. Yeah. Then he tells me a bit about his day, what he's been up to, to distract me. And I gradually feel that, I'm safe. I have time to think, for a while. And then I'm telling him about the next step I could take to return back to where I started. And I ask if he could drive me to the starting point. When after some thinking, he finally said yes, I felt an enormous sense of relief, and it was really healing to meet someone without this scheme inside his head that if you make a mistake, you have to deal with it on your own. Yeah. Honestly, I'm not sure I would enjoy these 3 days by the river nearly as much if I hadn't have to fight so hard to get there. What I love about St. Petersburg is that it has a river and access to the bay, so you can row or sail.
სიყვარულის ცეცხლი გვენთო რა ყოფილა სიჯაბუკე ჩემო კარგო ხდები უკვე ეს ლებია სიყვარულისა აბა როგორ დავივიწყო ოცნებების წლები წმინდა მერე რა რომ არა ვიხდა რა უყო თუ გაგვიფრიდა რა ყოფილა სიჯაბუკე ჩემო კარგო ხდები უკვე ეს ლებია სიყვარულისა
Стекляхи.